Nurses, 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 come on in, come on in. We need to talk. We need to have a conversation like right now. Are you a nurse who would find yourself in overdraft every month? You find yourself living paycheck to paycheck every month. You have 2, 3 jobs, but you still have no time for your kids, for your family. You're overworked, stressed out, burnt out, and broke. Is that you? Let me know in the comments, and I will stick a pin because I want you to go ahead and grab your cup of your favorite beverage, because we're going to talk about it right now in today's video. 5 reasons why nurses are broke. Let's get into it. But before we get into it, please go ahead, hit the subscription button. If you're new to my channel, welcome, welcome, welcome. My name is Yashika Turner, and on this channel, I talk about restarting, relocating, and hitting the reset button. So in today's video, we're going to talk about why you are broke and how you can hit the reset button and start thriving in your finances. Let's get right into it. So number 1, and this video is specifically for internationally trained nurses. Nurses who move here to Canada from their home country. You know, you move and you get the first paycheck and you're like, what? First, you're seeing so much money, right? And what you do with that money? Tell me what you do with that money. You start sending it back home. Your mother want money, your sister want money, your auntie, your uncle, and you start send all your money back home without having a plan, your relocation plan here in Canada, with figuring out your life, what you really want. No budget, no plan, but you get this big paycheck and you don't know what to do with it. So you just start sending money. Western Union, MoneyGram, right? And the money done. You don't know where the money gone. So that is number 1. Not used to the figures that you see and you just squander it. All done. Number 1. Number 2 is accepting all the credit cards. To every store you walk into, they offer you a credit card, and you know what? You said yes. Instead of saying no, you could not yield to the temptation. You couldn't do it. You have to take it. You walk into Walmart offer you a credit card. Yes, ma'am, I'm taking it. You go to Brick, you go to Leon's, you go to Home Depot. Where else? Name them all. Pull out your purse right now. Take out your purse. Count how many credit cards do you have into your purse right now. I'm waiting for the answer, and I'm waiting for you to go get your purse and come back. How many credit cards? Do you need all those 6 credit cards? Do you need all those 10 credit cards? And you know what? All of them max out, don't it? Tell me. Don't lie. Tell the truth. How much balance do you have on those credit cards? More than 70%. That is killing your credit score. I did a previous video on the things you should do on building your credit score when you land in Canada the first 6 months. Yes, accepting credit card is one of them, but using it wisely. Using it wisely to build your credit and not as a disadvantage to your credit. Now that we talk about credit, let's talk about line of credit. Do you have a line of credit? Yes. Is your line of credit max out too? Yes. Right? And even before we even finish with the line of credit, you have the credit cards and you keep accepting the limit increase. Right? They give you $5,000 and then realize that the $5,000 max almost max out. They call you. We have an increase of limit of $7,000. Do you want to accept? Yes, you accept. You max it out again. They increase it and you max it out again. Those credit cards, those line of credits are detrimental. Detrimental. So you need to go through your finances Go through your credit cards and start figuring out a way which ones you can pay off and which ones you can say goodbye to. Cut them up, stop use them. You don't need more than three credit card maximum. Done. Right? Number 3 is doing too much too fast. Walking before creeping. And I talk about this a lot in my videos. If you haven't seen those videos, go ahead. I have a full playlist of what to do when you move here to Canada. I'm a nurse also. I'm a realtor. So I know it. I've seen it. And I'm telling you how to avoid it. I've also been through it as a nurse myself, as a newcomer myself. I've done a video also on the financial mistakes that I've made as a newcomer. Go ahead and watch that video also. I'm telling you so you can avoid going down that steep, shallow, dark road. Because trust me, when it comes on to buying your house, this is going to be a disadvantage for you. And I'm sure you move here to Canada for a better and not worse, to thrive and not just survive. So let's get back to it. You are walking before you are creeping. You get the money and you start buy the big name brand clothes. You start buy the big bundles of hair. You start going sit down in a hair salon while you was DIYing and making your wigs. Yes, call this plastic wig. I don't care. I'm not going to buy the wig them for $500, right? I have to go to the beauty salon the other day. My hair wanted to be done. I went to the beauty salon and you know how much I spent on one pack of hair? $15, and I crochet wig and I crochet my wig. Maximum of $20. Why should I go to cut myself and buy a wig for $500 when I know that my credit card or my account or my budget cannot afford it? When things get better, yes, I might can afford that type of wig, that type of luxury. But right now, I cannot afford it. You need to look into your budget, look into your finances, and eliminate the luxurious things that you are spending your money on, which is driving you into overdraft every month. The handbag, then the expensive handbags, the expensive name brand clothes, right? You are going too fast. A lot of times too, a lot of persons are house poor. Why? They don't believe, nurses, yes, you don't believe that your first house don't have to be your dream house. Let me say that again. Your first house doesn't have to be your dream house. So you don't have to go buy the big mansion. So you are house poor. So that you have to work 3 jobs to pay the mortgage. You can start off with a townhouse. Start off with a semi-detached. Right? Rather than start off with the detached house. The luxurious stuff, you have to cut it back, nurse. Cut it back. Another thing is choosing the neighborhoods that you are living in. A lot of us, immigrants, nurses, internationally trained nurses, we move to the big cities and we try to thrive in those big cities, which is harder for us to thrive. So rather than thriving, having financial independence, having the quality time, and having the freedom, which is worth more than your mental health, you have to be working and living at the hospitals to pay the high mortgage. Because you don't think that you can move out and live in a cheaper neighborhood, cheaper city, where you can slash that mortgage in half price. Come out of the business. After things get better, you can graduate and go to the big expensive cities. Start small, creep before you walk. Move to Hamilton. Why not? You know what? For example, when I moved here to Canada, I landed in Mississauga. And when I landed in Mississauga and I came to Hamilton, I was like, no, 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 I'm going back to Mississauga. But you know what I realized? If I had gone back to Mississauga, I would not be able to buy my first house as a single mom nursing at the time. I would be renting, still renting. And you know what? Moving to a cheaper city and a more affordable city, I was able to buy my house as a single mom at the time and a nurse at the time and living within my means. So if you're a nurse watching this right now and you're living in the GTA and you're paying top dollars for rent or for mortgage, hey, come on, move over to Hamilton. I even have, I'm going to put that in the description there where you can download a guide, city guide of Hamilton, Ontario. So you can decide if you want to locate here in Hamilton. And I'm a realtor, so I can help you with that if that's your desire. So that's the next thing. Another thing is putting yourself in more financial strains when you take up yourself and gone to do a master's and or a PhD when it is only giving you $3 or $4 more than your salary. Investing and putting yourself in debt. More debt, right? Weigh the pros and the cons. You investing into, you know, I know different people have different life goals, but at times it might not be the right life goals at the time, right? So you're putting yourself in more debt rather than putting your investment in something else. Put the investment in starting a business. Put the investment in buying a house and have a rental property. Use that extra income to finance your needs, finance your education. So weigh your pros and your cons. Where are you going to invest? Are you going to invest in more education, which your rate of return is only going to be a few dollars more? Or are you going to invest in a business where your rate of return is more? Example again. 3 years ago, I knew I wanted a reset and a restart, but I wasn't sure what it would be. I started exploring doing my master's. The cost was so heavy. It was, I think, over $30,000, I believe, but it was so expensive. And I was like, I reassessed my life and I know the life goals that I have was to create freedom and flexibility. So after reassessing that, I was like, no, I don't think I want to be tied to nursing, to a career, to an office, to a boss for the next 10 years. So I X that out. I looked again, dived deep again, and I looked into entrepreneurship. And I decided this looks like the lifestyle that I want to have in the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years. The freedom, the flexibility, the independence of nobody having to telling me what to do, when to do, how to do, giving me a schedule, demanding me to work, restricting having only 2 weeks, 3 weeks vacation. So I analyzed the situation. I tried different stuff. I started with t-shirt. I wrote the book. I did life coaching. And now I'm a real estate sales representative because I know if I invest in becoming a realtor, my rate of return will be far more than what I would get out of going and getting a master's degree or a PhD. I want freedom. I want flexibility. And the career that I saw that gave me freedom and the flexibility was to be a realtor or a mortgage agent, which I had my mortgage agent license also. But that's how you have to look at your life. Look at the big picture and work backwards. I did a video, my last video, a few weeks ago, I did around goal setting. Go and watch that video. Go and watch my personal development playlist. You might get motivated and you might see how to hit the reset and the restart button of getting out of this broke, this broke scenario, right? Another thing is the overtime. Nurses, nurses, nurses. You live at the hospital. You live at the hospital. You're working overtime shift left, right, and center. You don't refuse none. You don't refuse the overtime shift. And you know what happened? When you get all that money, you know what the government do? Taxes, taxes, and taxes. When the time come for you to file the tax return, you even you have to pay back taxes. I learned that lesson my very first year when I moved to Canada, when I started working as a nurse. I was working 2 part-time jobs. And when I filed my first taxes, I had to pay $800 out of my pocket because I had 2 part-time jobs and I think enough wasn't coming out of my salary for taxes. I don't remember what happened, but it all boils down that I had to pay $800 out of my pocket for taxes. Yes, so from that year, I decided, you know what? I'm not going to be working harder so that the government can suck more money out of me while I work harder, you know, mentally burnout, physically burnout, leaving my child with no time to see me, no time to do stuff. I'm like, no, no, no. I'm going to find another way out. I'm going to do some side business, some side hustle. I started to do here. I did baking and I did all different things. So to supplement my income rather than spending more time at the hospital and getting less money, having to give the government more money. The other smart move too, I just spoke about that. Going into entrepreneurship and starting a business. Starting a business, opening up a corporation, and through that your business go in the corporation. Your business money goes in the corporation. You pay off stuff with the corporation. I'm not even getting into that yet. If you want to learn so about business, how you can start business as a nurse, side hustles as a nurse, let me know in the comments so you can reset your finances as a nurse. Listen, there is too much things, too much opportunities out there for nurses to remain broke, for nurses to be living broke, for nurses to live paycheck to paycheck without a plan. Without a plan. Are you liking this video? Let me know in the comments. Let me know in the comments if you're liking this video. Now, last but not least is not having a budget and not knowing where your money is going. Do you have a spending app? Do you have a budget so you can track to see where your money is going, what you're spending your money on? Do you have a budget? No, you're not budgeting. So you're just paying, buying, spending, spending, spending. Every time you go to the store, you come home with a handbag. How much handbag you have in your closet? How many handbags do you have in your closet? Right? So there is no budget. You don't know where your money is going. So you are broke. Am I right? Am I wrong? Let me know in the comments. Are you guilty? Are you guilty? Drop it and let me know which one is your guilty pleasure. Which one is it? Thank you so much for watching and stay tuned for my next videos. Bye for now.